I'd been trying to knock out a few articles for other magazines, even a couple of short stories, but my lack of confidence was clearly showing. Everyone had turned me down. They may have given me more consideration if I'd sent them my CV, but that would mean putting my head above the parapet, maybe drawing the attention of people that I'd rather not see. Hell, stop being so mealy-mouthed, Molly. It might draw Tim's attention. So there was my choice. Pull myself together, flaunt my past experience and stand a chance of making a living, or keep my head down and starve. No, not starve. Caro would never see that happen. She'd already offered to let me move into her place, work in the stables in return for my keep if I had to give up the cottage, and a tiny part of me was tempted. But another part of me wasn't. The part that knew the whole of my life in Riverdale was only temporary. The part of me that was driven by the ambition to write, seriously write. To unpack facts that so many people would just ignore, to examine, understand. The part of me that had pricked up its ears when I'd heard that Phinn was an astrophysicist and had surged to the surface when Link had thrown in his comment about the UFOs. The lights. Maybe he had seen them too. Stan stumbled and I almost rolled off over his head. Even given his total lack of temperament of any kind, this inattentive riding could be dangerous, so I pulled myself together and shortened up the reins. I forced him into an energetic trot until we'd circled the dale and were moving along the ridge overlooking Howe End, where, to Stan's relief, I let him mooch back into his customary amble and then drew him to a standstill. Below us, the farmhouse stood bathed in full sunlight. Although the front was screened from my view by the undergrowth that had concealed my approach that morning, the back of the house faced onto an open paddock, currently grazed by half a dozen sheep which had broken through the hedge from the next-door field. In this open space, I could see two men standing. Their figures were indistinct at this distance, but since one was dark and the other fair, I would have taken any bets that it was Phinn and the mysteriously named Link. A vanishing puff of grey showed that one of them was smoking a cigarette, and they were facing each other, seemingly in serious debate. I strained my ears but couldn't hear more than tones, changes in volume, or the odd staccato laugh. I let Stan lower his head to the grass and watched the men. Tall and skinny, short and slightly chubby, it looked like the number 10 having a falling out. There was clearly an argument going on. The cigarette trail came and went, accompanying upraised arms, and the voices came more distinctly for a moment before descending down the register again. After a moment, the shorter figure moved a few paces back, and the streak of dark, which was obviously Phinn, disappeared into the house, punctuated a moment later by the bullet-like sound of a slammed door. Link stayed put for a minute. The smoke died away. I saw the bright flare of a lighter, and then Phinn was back. Smoke was replaced, voices raised again, then fell to a mutter. The figures moved closer together for a moment as though confidences were being exchanged, and I saw Link reach out. Whether the gesture ended in a blow or comfort, I couldn't be sure. Beneath me, Stan moved, and I had to gather the reins to turn him back around, and by the time I had him facing the right way again, the two men were gone. Back inside the house? Or had they walked around the outside and gone elsewhere? The sheep moved, jerkily, through the overgrown gardens, occupying the silence that had fallen, and I wondered what the men had been arguing about.